This is it, what? Fettuccine with the team, we getting lit. What? Got it rolled up, now who really tryna hit? One, puff, puff, then we pass. Then we pass. Then we pass.
It was kind of rocking for a little minute though. We had like a little groove.
Yeah,
I was rocking with it.
Yeah,
what's going on? What's popping out here?
We back out here in these streets in the hot month of July.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course. July. We love July.
We love July.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Giants.
Yeah, shout out to Giants.
Gang,
You know
and all
what
of
I'm
that.
Check it out.
You know what I'm saying?
Supergroup still in stores. You already
Yeah.
go get that. Go stream that.
Of
Go
course.
playlist that.
Isn't streaming beautiful?
Streaming.
Remember like CDs and cassettes?
You know,
like you actually had to have things like in your possession.
streaming
Now it's just like
great that it's everywhere, but
it's just out there.
definitely I don't agree with the streaming rates because being paid a
The rates
fraction
are
of
ridiculous.
a penny for our shit.
It never made sense when they first started talking about it and explaining it, and that
right.
still don't make sense to this day. So.
Exactly, the royalty rates is pretty shitty,
I don't know
but
how they ain't figure it out.
they'll figure it out someday.
In the meantime, in between time,
Yeah.
it's the Herbal Tea Podcast. It's your man EarthTone.
And your man, the real Peasy, holding you down with the right dose of the highest notes.
Only the highest notes.
Only.
Hitting them with episode 71.
71. We up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. We're going to hit y'all with a couple pieces. You know what I'm saying? Little micro segments.
Back with the micro
pieces.
segments.
What we giving this home first? How you feeling? Like,
we gonna go ahead and
you feeling a little throwbackish?
I'm
or?
feeling very throwbackish.
Okay.
Today, you know
I
what
kinda
I'm
thought
saying?
so. I thought so.
You know, I like to be in that bag. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys like it too, because the first one we're gonna bring is the 90s equivalents. This is where we reimagine some of our contemporaries, some of our peers, and who they might manifest as had they existed in the decades before, in the 90s, and we usually stretch it to the 80s as well.
I like that
sure.
reimagine.
Yeah, we reimagine them. Right.
Okay.
So the first one that I got,
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
this is fun.
Okay. You know how I said, you know, the 80s is included as well? Okay, so Tim West is our first contestant. Tim West is one of the founders, one of the torchbearers, you know what I'm saying, one of the pioneers of out hip-hop, queer hip-hop as we know it.
Yep.
So highly regarded as such. He was in a group called Deep Dick Collective.
Dick Collective.
DDC for short.
Love it.
You could definitely do your Google on that. They do exist.
Come on now.
And I actually came in the game finding out who Tim West was, and that's how I figured out that queer rap is a thing. So as such, I gave him Grandmaster Flash.
Whoa.
Grandmaster Flash is my 90s equivalent for him. Of course, that would be an 80s equivalent. Grandmaster Flash is widely known as being the sort of the pioneer in conscious hip hop, because him and his group, the Furious Five, were the ones that released the, you know, classic The Message single, which was one of the first songs that explored different things other than partying.
Yeah.
Talked about being in the hood, talked about things that were like actually happening in their own vicinity. So
It's like a jungle sometimes. Made me wonder why.
exactly.
Come on, man.
You already know.
Come on.
If you ain't do the
Come on.
knowledge, this motherfucker
Come on,
did the
man.
knowledge
Like,
on one of our
stop.
songs.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So we out here. Tim West, so Grandmaster Flash, and I guess
Interesting.
DDC would be the Furious Five, even though I think it was maybe a little bit more than five, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's really, you know, it's kind of relevant, but
Okay.
just
So
the impact.
Tim West is Grandmaster Flash.
How you feel about that?
I like it. I mean, I see the correlation. You broke it down. You know what I'm saying? You did the knowledge, did the science. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
If Tim West, excuse me, excuse me.
Let me clear my throat.
If Tim West is Grandmaster Flash,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna hit him with my girl, And I think she is she from. I don't know if y'all know this one, but she might be from Jersey. We got a lot of Jersey.
Oh my God!
In the building lately, like it's just like a recurring theme.
We're
like,
still doing this.
I'm just saying, I'll just give it up sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Lady Luck, ladies and gentlemen.
Lady Luck.
Yeah,
Lady
I want to
Luck.
see. I want to throw her into the equation.
You gotta throw her in there.
I want to throw her into the equation.
Who you got for her?
I'm thinking like, she's known to be, tough skinned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Little rough around the edges.
Indeed.
Big personality, very in your face. Don't take anything. Not known for taking a lot of slack.
Right.
From the battle world. I'm feeling very Lady of Rage.
Lady of Rage.
Lady of Rage is where I was feeling.
You gonna give her that?
For Miss Lady Luck.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was feeling that. Just feeling the more so like the persona and the way she carry herself.
Right.
And then the raspiness of the voices. Now she's not a big girl, Lady Luck.
Yeah.
Rage, everybody know rough and stuff with my Afro puffs.
I like rough and stuff.
Yeah. She's one of those. But yeah, Lady of Rage, I feel like if we were gonna equate, because she was early on. Like Lady Luck came out what? We looked at about 2000-ish, 99, 2000-ish. So she was already kind of scraping the. But she's been around for a little minute, and she's evolved and developed.
Yeah.
Into doing publishing and other aspects of music and shit like that. Didn't have a ton of singles and music that came out in her career, so she don't got a crazy catalog.
Yeah.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a documentary where they talked about like Lady of Rage battling to kind of get her spot in the crew. With
she was in Death Row.
Death
right?
Row in them. Yeah, like she was like one of the first ladies of the crew type joint. You know how back in the day, all the squads, they had a lady. Like they all had one. And she was with the Death Row camp.
Indeed.
And I mean, you could just see it. And she did her little acting appearances. Wasn't she on
the Steve Harvey show?
The Steve Harvey show.
She was in love with Santana. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to that actor.
Oh shit, Romeo.
Romeo.
Yes.
Romeo.
Wow,
Santana's
that's crazy.
His real last name.
She had a recurring character on there. Like she was she's
doing a thing.
Lady Luck did her little. I mean, she did a little acting. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
I don't think she had a movie.
I didn't know she was doing acting.
Yeah. It was a little. You might have missed it.
Okay.
You might have missed it.
I blinked.
You might have missed it.
Wow.
But you know what I'm saying? They both had the lady in their name.
Okay.
Lady of Rage, Lady Luck.
I see what you did there.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't even hit it with that yet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I see
like,
what you did there.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
How you feeling? What you thinking?
You know what? I was gonna date her. I was gonna date her really badly.
Wow.
Because I'm thinking about it like timeline wise. But you brought in valid points about their similarities. And it's fluid. You know what I'm saying? It could be anybody between the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's definitely other contestants that could have.
Yeah, for sure. But I was just saying because she was so early, and then she came out early as well. You know what I'm saying? Lady Luck.
Okay.
So that's kind of really like why we're talking about Lady Luck, because I don't know if everybody really know who she is. So she's kind of like, she was kind of one of the early ones that came out. She wasn't out when she was, had her notoriety when she broke in, but a few years I remember she did, actually come out and say.
Yeah.
So that's why we even talking about Lady Luck. But because of that, this was still like the 2000s, I believe. So because of that, I was just gonna be like, maybe she Shot Rock. But that's like, if you know who Shot Rock is, Shot Rock is one of the first female rappers like that they ever actually gave a mic to, had a verse, and was part of a group as well.
Yeah.
So, but that was my only counter.
Okay.
But
I like it.
I like what you did with Lady of Rage. That's plausible too. That's early 90s.
Okay, see, that's what makes this fun, because you could kind of fit different artists in that same slot and could make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? All right, so who you got next? Who you got for that? After that,
The next one, all right, we're gonna bring Bryant to the stage.
whoa,
And this one is really, really interesting. There's a couple of possibilities.
okay,
And we're gonna stay in the 80s here. You know what I'm saying? Bryant broke through about late 2000s, about 2008 is when after I heard of Tim and West, Bryant was the next big guy that he was like really kind of notable doing his thing with his mixtapes. And because he was doing his mixtapes and theming them as if he was a porn star, I was giving him Big Daddy Kane.
interesting.
Because Big Daddy Kane kind of went into the whole sexuality thing after his first
he did
album.
Playboy and all of that.
He did Playboy. What is it? What the fuck is the name of the album? Taste of Chocolate, I think, was one of his albums. This is after Ain't No Half Steppin'.
Oh wow.
He did Ain't No Half Steppin' was his like landmark.
Okay.
And then like the further he got into his career, the more clothes he took off, the more girls
He definitely
had
started
around
showing
him.
a lot of chest.
He was definitely
a lot of taco
doing it.
meat. Yep.
He was definitely doing that. And then because of that, the other one could be he's Kool Mo D. Because Kool Mo D had the famous rap beef with LL Cool J.
Okay.
And the LL Cool J, I would say the LL Cool J of our era would be Lasto. And there was a one time Brian and Lasto had a little scuffle.
Wow.
A little scuffle. A little tiny thing going on. And Kool Mo D and LL Cool J had the little tiny beef that they had going on. Wow. So it's either one of those for me.
It's giving Kool Mo D.
It's giving Kool Mo D.
Interesting. That is very interesting.
Kool Mo D.
I don't know. I kind of see the Big Daddy Kane more than the Kool Mo D.
Right. It's a stretch.
Wow. Okay.
What you thinking? You thinking either of those, or you got one that might be more fitting?
For Bryant, I definitely see the Big Daddy Kane, especially even more so with like the performance. His stage shows, you sometimes have dances. You know what I'm saying? I can see that correlation. I don't know. Who would be a counter? That would be an interesting one. I would have to get out some more thought. If we sticking in the 80s,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Definitely.
If we sticking in like the 80s, like late 80s,
late 80s. That's what it's giving.
I don't know.
Long Live the King was his first album. That's with Ain't No Half Steppin'. Hold on. Yep. And then the next album is called It's a Big Daddy Thing. Right. So getting a little bit more.
Okay.
And then after that, A Taste of Chocolate. And then that was around the time he modeled for Playboy or Playgirl.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think around that time.
I could see a little bit of maybe a Rob Bass. Just because of for Bryant.
Rob Bass.
Just almost kind of the style of like music, like almost doing like a singable like rap mesh. He had a producer that he worked with, a DJ. Bryant got Esquire, who he worked with.
So It Takes Two, Rob Bass, right? It Takes Two of them. That works. That does work.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe a light, just something to think about. Sit there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see how that goes.
I don't know, but the Kane is definitely that's the one sticking out for me. I see the Kane.
Kane. That was the one that immediately.
Okay,
came in.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Who we got?
So
next?
I'm gonna bring out. You might have heard this. Heard of this lady, Miss Noah, Kim for Life. Shoosh. Of the group, Kim for Life.
Kim for
Life. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. She's been out here for a little minute doing her thing. She's giving me, if I was gonna say an equivalent, and I'm gonna bring it a little bit into the 90s with this one. The Brat.
You giving her Brat?
I'm giving her Brat.
You giving her Brat? Okay.
She's very, very double timey with the flows and the tongue. Brat got that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was giving you that Chicago style, that fast timey.
That's true.
She's definitely giving you Butch Queen energy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good one.
she's giving you the hairstyles. The brat had her twists. Noah kind of twists up the, she giving you the mohawk all of the time with the blind high top, which she keeps at pristine condition.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I saw her twisted a couple times. She do the twist like the brat, so they also had that little. I was like, okay. The brat was a part of a camp a little bit. So Def. She kind of came out in a little 2-piece with like Lil Bow Wow, JD. Like she was with that camp, Crisscross. Like they was all kind of out around the same time.
Yeah.
And Noah, she was in a group and then she went and did her solo thing, and now she's in another group. Her and Butterfly Fields.
Yeah, shout out
they
to
do
them.
their thing, so she kind of, they got the group similarities. Yeah, and that's kind of the vibe I was getting when I was thinking. I was like, okay, who could kind of be a good representation for Noah? Double Time, the brat. Come on. And she giving you that edgy raw, like still hit you with like the sexy feminine energy, but also give you masculine energy at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like that.
For a while, ain't nobody know what was up with the brat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? She tried to fool the boys one time. She pulled titties out one time.
She pulled the titties out.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. What you thinking? How you feeling?
Yo,
what you thinking about that?
Okay,
one?
all right. So I like how you did that. I like how you came up with that.
Okay.
I was still sticking in the 80s with them because they also kind of was same era as Bryant. And I was giving them Salt and Pepper, Kin for Life. I was giving them Salt and Pepper because they were big. They had a moment. They had a huge moment when they broke through. When I first came in, like I definitely remember seeing Kin for Life popping off on YouTube. Everybody that was like doing media then was talking about them. They had a crazy buzz. So they were kind of impactful in that way, and there weren't a lot of female rap groups at that point as well. So I would give them I would give Kin for Life the group Salt and Pepper, and you could take either one. Could be Salt or Pepper.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's
a
my
good one.
counter.
That's a really good counter.
Yeah, that's my counter.
I could also see an argument for like TLC maybe.
That's doable too. Like
a Left Eye, you know what I mean? Like I could see that as well. Yeah. Okay, that's dope. See, this is fun. I love this. Like we could kind of go all day with these joints. All right, so who else we got? Let's do 2 more of these joints.
All right, so the next one we bring into the stage, we bring it closer. Day Burger. Shout out to Day Burger.
Day Burger.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm giving her Yo-Yo.
You can't play with my yo
because that's the song. That's the signature song for her. And Day Burger's signature song is Where My Girls. Where my girls with the orange hair.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So she's kind of everywhere, and that's like got placed a lot. It's pretty much like her go-to record. You see her, she will do that song.
Okay.
So the womanhood and being celebrating femininity is kind of like was Yo-Yo's thing, Make Way for the Motherlode, name her album. And Day Burger's big on working with a lot of other different women, lesbian women, queer women in the industry. So,
okay,
kind of still doing that.
I see that.
That's my...
Okay.
That's it for
I also see, I don't know, am I tripping or did Yo-Yo have a lot of bright colors? Like she had the bronze micro braids.
Yeah, she had the micro braids,
like the stonewash jean shirts and all of that. Like she was kind of like colorful with it.
Yeah,
and Day Burger gives you a lot of color.
Does a lot of color. That's her thing. Like wearing rainbow everywhere on herself. So
okay,
they got going on.
Day Burger and Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. That's a good one. I can't really think of any.
Early 90s, she kind of blew up around the same time. A little after Azealia Banks, a little before Young M.A.
Okay.
90s.
Okay. All right. Well, if Day Burger is Yo-Yo,
yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and tag in Fly Young Red. And I'm going to give you Too Short.
Oh, shit.
Too Short.
Bro.
Too Short.
I was literally trying to figure out Too Short.
Too Short.
And I was like, yo, does he
Bitch, what's my favorite bird? Bitch. Too Short. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Throw that boy.
That's the one. I see
like he
it.
always on his, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always on the twerk shit. Boy
Yeah.
pussy. Boy Vix is in the video. He tried to hit you with the serious freestyle one time. I remember that joint he released. But that's what he known for. He known for the ass shaking twerk songs.
Yep.
I mean, Too Short, you already know what it is.
You already know.
Nastiest mouth on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Giving the same vibe.
Giving pimp shit
Yeah.
since day one. Showed everybody.
It's kind of. I mean, that one was kind of a no-brainer for me. I was like, all right. I was trying to think of a few.
That's
I was like,
a good one.
I also thought like Uncle Luke maybe a little bit. But I didn't. Too Short made a little bit more sense for me.
Okay, all right.
A little bit more sense for me.
All right,
What you
all
think?
right.
How you feeling about that?
I like that one. I don't have a counter for that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Look at that. All right.
That's
So we
lit.
got some interesting ones. Bryant was
Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane. Okay. And
With
then we had
splash of Cool Mo D.
with a splash of Cool Mo D. We had Lady Luck as
Luck.
Lady of Rage. Who we had?
Tim and West was
and West.
Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Norkin for Life
Norkin for Life.
as the Brat
Brad.
or
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper. Yeah, Salt and Pepper for Kim for Life, the group.
Yeah.
Dayburger.
Dayburger.
Who we
Yo.
had?
Yeah.
Don't try to play me out.
Don't try to play me. Right.
That's the joint.
Right.
And then Fly Young Red is Too Short.
Fly Young
Very
Red is Too
interesting.
Short.
Very interesting. I kind of want to see this on like a flyer or a T-shirt or something, like just to see the imagery. Like, say, had them standing next to the counterparts,
with
like the equivalents.
We could do it.
That would be hard.
We
All
might
right.
could make the merch. We could.
Hey man,
that
listen.
might be a merch.
Ideas. Don't steal that. Copyright.
Don't steal that. We got it. We
That's
probably
only
doing
copyright.
it. We're doing it in the background.
Sorry, y'all.
Period.
All right, that was fun. So what we gonna get into next?
All right. What's next? What we got? What you got? What
The
you got
90s
for
equivalent.
us?
Let's see. All right,
What
so
you got? I heard you doing something a little different today.
I mean, I know you usually hold down the needle. You know what I mean, you usually controlling the needle over there.
Right.
But I want to throw some records on. You know what I'm saying?
Throw
Let me-
some records
Let me see the record
on.
player. I got a couple needle drops for
Who
him.
you got? Who you got?
All right, so we're gonna start it out like this. Iniko. You ever heard of Iniko?
Inigo. No.
This artist I came across on I think it was IG. Scrolling up, saw that it was this queer artist, like eccentric. She's an eccentric songstress. Very hard to pinpoint the genre. Really, it's like a cross between R&B and like trancey, like funky, electronic, almost like Bjorkish-y.
I like it.
But soulful. She's kind of dope. She got like a little 3-piece EP. It's called Jericho. So the single is Jericho, and then the EP is named after the single, and there's 2 other joints on there.
Bet.
Came out May 13th. So go check that out. Streaming right now. We also got the homie Tafari Anthony.
Anthony.
You might have heard of him before, seen of him. Did we have him on the show? I don't know if we had him on the show.
We haven't. I don't know if we did, but we definitely work with him.
Okay. Yep.
Definitely work with him.
I interviewed him on The Query. So that's how I came across him. I was doing the artist research then.
About him.
Yep, and found him there. He got a new joint coming out called Heart Race.
Okay.
It actually came out June 9th. Streaming on all platforms, so definitely go get that a listen.
Shout out.
Also on the needle drop, Kalina Zanders got this track "Lost My Mind," which features AC Slater and New Bass. AC Slater, I love that name.
AC Slater, like from Saved by the
So
Bell.
from
You
Saved by the
used that
Bell.
as their stage name.
AC Slater. I
That's
saw that. I was like,
cute.
that's fly.
That's cute.
Yeah, but Kalina Zanders, she's a DJ, dance producer. I came across her on this IG page called Queer Artists Connect UK.
Shout out.
And they had like a top 5 list or something like that of like the hottest UK artists out right now, queer UK artists. And I saw them on there, and I saw that they had this track out. I listened to it. Joint is jamming.
Okay.
It's definitely like pre-party, get you ready to go out type music. Like you want to dance to it.
Bet.
So go check that out. That came out June 15th. We got a cypher on our hands. I ain't seen a cypher in a minute. We got a cypher on our hands.
We got another one because we had Bob the drag queen.
Yeah, I know. You know we love a good cypher.
We love a cipher.
We love a good cypher.
We stay in the cipher.
It's called Bargasm. It came out June 1st.
Okay.
just in time for Pride Month.
In time.
It features 9 Q Plus artists, 3 of which we're familiar with. We got Bryce Courts on the joint.
Okay.
Big Daddy Karsten.
Okay.
Nuepa.
Okay.
Remember Nuepa? They all on this joint. You know what I'm saying? And then it also features Aja, Kurza Leon.
Okay.
Jesse Paradise, Shiloh, Count Classy, and Metal Mouth.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a rundown.
Okay.
And it's actually streaming. So they broke it up into like 3 different parts, and then you can also stream the full cipher like all the way through.
Nice.
But I mean, it definitely let you know it's 9 heads on there. They getting their bars on.
So Wu-Tang and shit
Listen,
came through.
Bargasm. Go check it out. Let us know what you think. It's streaming on all platforms.
I'm gonna check that shit out.
And then we got one more. This is an interesting one. This one is a little near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
You know I love me some Doja.
I know you love you some Doja.
I don't know what it is, but I love me some Doja. Doja Cat is back.
She's back.
She been talking a lot of, like, she been, a little self-deprecative. You know what I mean? Like, she been talking down on her projects, kind of like, they was mid pop.
Really?
Mediocre. Her first 2 releases was like, she tweeted something like that not too long ago.
Okay.
And then she also was saying, she pulled out, as you might have heard, of The Weeknd's tour. She's supposed to be an opener on his tour. And she decided to pull out. I don't know how soon in advance she gave him, but it was a little bit of controversy behind it. But she's addressing it on this new track. She got something to say, and she's spitting on this.
She is spitting.
Like, she came to rap.
She did come to rap.
She got a video out. She giving visuals.
She shaved her head and all of that. Like EVE, attitude, rude. That's the Philly and I need a new game. I'm not telling you like that's not.
She got the paws on the chest and all of that.
She got the if she would have took the halter down just a little bit,
Pitbull and the skirt on them.
Yep.
She do got the Neo trench, the Matrix joint on.
She had the trench.
She looked crazy in the video. She looked good.
It was giving 2000s energy.
Yeah. But definitely go check that out. There's talk about it, like you can look in the articles. I didn't know if it was tied to a single or album or EP that's coming out. But I think all of this stuff is like a rollout. She's been kind of making little headways, saying little stuff to get the people talking. She did remember she came out in the looking like what's her name, Mystique. With the bees, she had the red bees on. It was like a red Mystique look. She been out here. She been doing a lot. So shout out to her. The joint is hard. I rock with it. I'm looking forward to some new Doja, some rapping. I'm here for rapping Doja.
I'm here for rapping Doja too. I'm really hoping if that's the new album that she comes through, because that's what we've been saying.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Okay,
need more bars.
Well, there you have it, man. That's the needle drop.
That's the needle
drop.
So
how did I do? What you think?
You did excellent.
Thank you.
I fuck with that.
Wow.
That's a hard ass. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, all right. Hey, listen.
Okay, let's get it.
You heard it here, so.
All right, so, you know what I'm saying? We mixing it up a little bit more. Stirring it up. We're going to bring it back to the old school because, it's kind of where we living right now.
It is.
So we've given you the vintage vibes.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
I love the vintage vibes.
Bring it back where we take a look at a classic artist's work who is Q+. And we hadn't reviewed them. We hadn't had a chance because we didn't exist when the album was popular. So we kind of taking a look back at some of their classic work from some high-profile Q+ artists.
Slick, love it.
And we would like to welcome this artist because we have talked about them in an ally capacity before, but we did just see,
further developments.
We saw further development that our Queen Latifah, who we've always addressed as an ally, has come out fully, basically, has endorsed having a long-time female partner. So, they were on the award show. I forgot what award show we saw them on. They were holding hands,
on the red carpet and all that.
And they, they addressed their relationship. They're open about it. So this kind of confirms, that You already know. Q plus. Queens, Q plus all the way through.
Well, we already thought and hoped.
We already thought and hoped that that's where it was, and we just glad to see it finally happen. So with that being said, we're going to talk about some of her classic material.
Okay.
That we've been checking for, that we're gonna bring back out
Let's
through the crates.
Get into it. Okay.
So let's talk about just the whole album, All Hail the Queen. We're just gonna just throw that up because All Hail the Queen is Queen Latifah's debut album. We're not gonna go through the whole thing, but it's a pretty, masterful work of early female rap. It came out in 1989.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta go back and listen to that.
And the main single that pretty much everybody has gotten themselves introduced to Queen Latifah on was Ladies First with Moni Love.
Ladies First.
And that's
Ladies First.
On the album. You know what I'm saying? There are other highlights on there. The record that she actually broke through with was called Wrath of My Madness. This was a single that that she came out with on vinyl. I believe it was produced by DJ Prince Paul. I'm like 95% sure that's who helped produce that record.
Okay.
If not them,
that would make sense. I mean, that was the Native Tongue camp.
Yeah, she was definitely big in the native tongue.
Native Tongue.
Native tongue. Tongue twister, native tongue twister. You know what I'm saying? And on the album, she actually had De La Soul on it. On the record, it's a highlight. Mama gave birth to the soul children. So, it's an album that actually kind of informed some of my rhyming, skills and tactics when I first was coming in the game. She was definitely somebody I studied, and it was like one of my earliest waking nostalgic memories as a kid. Is seeing the Ladies First video with the glow in the dark chess pieces, the huge ones.
Oh
that they were moving around.
Yeah.
So that was on Video Music Box, and in my living room when I used to live in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
That's kind of one of my earliest memories of seeing that. So she's highly influential in that way, and the whole album I definitely think is worth a listen. And we thank Queen Latifah for of course, supporting the community, and congratulations on your relationship.
Come on, Jers. All Hail the Queen.
Shout out to Jers.
Yeah.
Giving it up. Jers been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? All right.
Okay.
So the next one, let's talk about the other royalty in our family. Let's talk about Queen the band.
Ooh.
Specifically Freddie Mercury.
I see what you did there.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about them. There's a song that is on an Amazon commercial called Cool Cat, and it's from Queen's 1982 album, Hot Space.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And this is post Bohemian Rhapsody, that type of record. And the album, I'm not that familiar with Queen's discography, but I did listen to the entire Hot Space album. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like as big as like their Bohemian Rhapsody era, but it feels like they were moving in sort of a little bit of a different direction. But Cool Cat, the standout track on there, was in the Amazon commercial. It's very like a breezy R&B-ish, soulful kind of, but up tempo, kind of like they were trying to do their best. I guess you could say Smokey Robinson influences in there. You could also say that a lot of the records on the Hot Space album probably influenced Michael Jackson as well, because all of the yelping and the hooting and the shit and the kind of funk inspired shit.
Interesting.
Freddie Mercury was killing that shit on that album. So Michael Jackson's Thriller came out later in 1982. And you already know how that album, if you don't know how that album sounds, go listen to that. But go listen to, go check out that Queen Cool Cat from Hot Space album, 1982. Whoa. Definitely think it was and another record of note on that album is Under Pressure, which was sampled on the world famous.
Oh, that's on that album?
Yeah, it's also sampled in Vanilla Ice's Ice Baby. That's where Vanilla Ice tried to say that it was not that record, or it was a David Bowie record, but no, Under Pressure is definitely a Queen record, and it's on that album.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And the final one we're going to give it up to was another pioneer in queerness in mainstream music, Culture Club. We're going to talk about Culture Club. The song that I have was one of my standouts. Is Do You Really Wanna Hurt Me? Do You Really Wanna Make Me Cry? That one, yeah. So Culture Club was basically the group that Boy George was in. He was the lead singer of that group. And at a time where homophobia was pretty much the rule of the day.
I mean, it was the standard
in the music industry, and he broke through. They broke through as a group with hit songs, platinum albums. Their #1 record, Karma Chameleon.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Karma
Chameleon.
Yeah, so you might have. I definitely heard it when I was a kid.
I mean, you had to hear that song at some point.
At some point, it's one of those records that kind of stayed in popular culture. It's really popular.
TV shows.
So that same album that it was on, both of the songs that we're talking about, early hits for Culture Club and Boy George for being a pioneer, for just being out. Basically, well, he was out as bisexual.
Yeah, he was kind of like
he did that
androgynous a little bit. He was in that wave.
And because MTV was new and they were played on MTV a lot, they kind of got a lot of acceptance through that.
And they was always like dressing with costumes and stuff like that, so they was kind of it was like a big performative thing anyway. Like you looked at them more like kind of like characters, artists, as opposed to like
hide it.
Yeah.
Was it Karma Chameleon was actually about Boy George's relationship with the group member in there. His name was John Moss. It was another group member in Culture Club, and it said that the song Karma Chameleon was pretty much about their rocky relationship while they were in the group, but it was pretty much kept from the public. It was just something that was like under wraps until later on. But that's your vintage vibes.
Wow, that's spicy.
You know what I'm saying? That's your vintage vibes.
I love it.
I hope y'all enjoyed that. Ride to all of that.
Yeah. All right. Well, while we on the vintage tip,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We sipping this fine wine over here.
Fine wine.
You know what goes well with wine? Weed, of course. So we're going to take a little smoking session in the smoking section. Ooh, excuse me. Come on now. All right, so I was on the internet, browsing around.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Looking around.
Doing things.
Trying to find out some news. What's going on in the marijuana world, the cannabis industry? You know what I'm saying? Leafly. Shout out to Leafly.com. Dope resource. They did this article on 7 easy steps to roll a joint. Now, myself, I've always been terrible at rolling papers. It's kind of difficult. I'm a blunt guy. I can roll them, but they never come out like the way I would like them.
That's pretty blunt. I see what you did there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You have to include. You're supposed to include like a filter. So you take a piece of cardboard. You take it like a. You heard what I say? You take it like a piece of cardboard, and you roll it up, and you put it at the front of the rolling paper, and then you want to put your weed in and you roll it like that. So they break down the steps. First, you got to gather your supplies. Of course, you want your weed, your papers, your tip, your grinder, right? And if you savvy with it, you get your little stick so you can pack it down. You grind up the cannabis. First step. You create the filter, which I was talking about, the little paper. Now, in this article, they called it a crutch. I never heard it called that before, but that's what they called it in this. But it's like the little filter tip at the end of the joint. You want to fill the paper up with trees. Now, you want to use between a 0.5 gram and 1 gram. If you just like learning how to roll, you probably want to use a 0.5 gram, use a little less. The more weeds you use, the more skill you're going to kind of need. But it's all about getting a feel for it and being able to roll it. So that's step 3, fill the paper with the trees. And then 4, roll a joint. You just kind of got to get it between your fingers and even it out. And then you want to kind of have it like a U shape. So think of the flat sheet of paper in a U with the weed in, and then you got the filter at the tip. And you kind of want to get a short end and a long end of the joint because you want to flip it over. So you want to flip the long end over the short end, and that's when you seal it before you do that. Roll it over. So they say roll a joint, seal the joint, pack the joint, because that's why it's difficult with the paper, because you gotta roll it to a cone, and then you gotta pack the weed so it's kind of like towards the end of the filter where the filter is.
Right.
And then you want to seal it, pack it, seal it, and then that's when you twist it off at the end. You see how they twist it with it. So it sounds a little intricate, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes, because it's more about feel. So it's something that you have to. It's like practical. You have to do it to learn how to do it. So in watching that quick 7-step, I'm like, okay. That just made me think about like the OGs as far as the platforms we use to smoke weed.
Yeah.
So you got your papers, either your rolling papers or your crowns, your cones. That's what's great about the cones, because the rolling papers, you don't even have to deal with all of that. If you just buy the cones, they come pre-sealed and packaged. They're already attached to the filter. So all of that rolling and all that stuff, you don't have to do. You just pack in a cone. For those that's watching on YouTube, I could kind of show you what one of them looks like. So you take a cone. That's why they call it a cone, because it's shaped like an actual cone.
Oh shit.
The filter is already there, so the paper is already wrapped around. It's already sealed. You literally just grinding your weed and pouring it in there, packing it, pouring it, packing it, twist it, you out of here. But this is not that convenient when you on the go, on the road, and you want to, like, this is something you got to prep before you go outside. You want to prep a bunch of these. That's why they sell the pre-rolls. You can buy the pre-rolls, but you can do your own joints at home. Then you have your blunts, which is, the tobacco leaf. You can use that, different brands, Dutches, White Owls, Games. I like the Dutch cigarillos, of course. But then you also got the grappa leaf, which is like a more, it's a more dense like tobacco leaf.
Okay.
And they use that a lot. That's heavy in New York as well. But it is cheaper, and you can get that like at the smoke shops as well. So that's kind of the blunt or a spliff. A blunt is just a tobacco with the weed roll. A spliff, they mix in actual tobacco. So sometimes from a cigarette or just tobacco, just like regular tobacco, if you're going to roll your own cigarettes, you'll mix that with the weed. That's what makes it a spliff. So that's kind of what makes it different from just rolling a joint and a blunt. You're actually mixing in that tobacco with the weed. And then you have just a straight little piece, a pipe, which you can have a glass one, similar to this joint right here. You got the arrowhead.
Right.
Or they have these new ones. I think this is made of like latex or rubber or something. But it looks like glass. It's shiny, looks like glass. Before you touch it, you're like, oh shit, that's going to break if you drop it. You drop this joint, it's like bang, bang, it'll bounce. There's like a little glass holder in here where you put the trees. So you pack it here, light it, boom, and you're good to go. And then it also comes with this little nifty stick. That way it comes with a stick. You don't have to worry about getting it, and it tucks right under there. It's kind of dope. So those are the three different ways. So this one is just straight weed. So you're not worrying about no paper. But this is also not convenient when you like out and about. You don't want to be packing this, walking around, hitting a pipe. And that also, you don't necessarily know what's in that pipe. You don't be walking around just smoking a pipe in the streets. It might look a little sus.
Definitely doing that.
Yeah.
When
you can. That's just one of the, like, somebody might look at you like you crazy. Like, is he smoking?
And I be wondering why they looking at me. I'm like, ain't it legal? What the fuck is you doing?
It is legal, but it's just like,
tit. You know what I'm saying?
You could definitely do it, but that's what the one hitters is for. But that's also something you gotta have, like a bunch of weed on you. You gotta repack it. As opposed to a joint or a blunt, you could enjoy that a little bit longer.
True.
You don't have to worry about repacking it or anything like that. So that's just some of the differences between the papers, the blunt, and the pipe.
Bing.
And then you also have, like, they got the vapes now, they got the pens with the cartridges and all that, the oils. So it's a lot of new age. Like, they starting to mix the technology with the smoking as well. So
yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes those vapes, I like them. It depends on the cartridge, the brand, the pen. Sometimes it's a little, it feel like I'm smoking digitized smoke a little bit. But it's kind of dope. It's convenient that you can't smell it. You can smoke it indoors and not bother people. So
we all in the matrix. So
hey, man, sign of the times.
That's part of it.
What's going to be next? Well, we here for it. So that's all we got for the smoking section. How you feeling, fam?
Yo, I'm feeling real
You
good.
feeling like equipped with enough knowledge to go ahead and pick your proper medium so you can enjoy this marijuana?
Indeed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, we're going to end it like we always do. On a motherfucking high note.
This is it. What? Fettuccine with the team, we getting lit. What? Got it rolled up. Now who really tryna hit? One puff, puff, then we pass. Then we pass.